flyers up in the halls have informed us that there will be a special assembly for all freshmen this Thursday. No class activities can be scheduled for that day. Let's see. My stress is fine. Oops. I don't know what to do. I feel like, okay, I like going to class all the time because, you know, then I get points. But then I also feel that, like, I should be living a little bit more life outside of it. So let's see. I'm going to do blue, white, go to the gym. And then study. Why the fuck not? Blue magic. Yay. White magic. Oh yeah. Bonjour, mes chéris. Today I want to talk a bit about otherworld creatures in general. Because our worlds are connected, they can cross over just as easily as we can. But in this world, they are not native. They are weakened and bound by their nature, just as we are when we travel the other world. Every spirit in this world must follow a set of rules. Not the same rules, though. That would be too simple. Rules of behavior vary, depending on the type of creature the method is used to reach our world. If you cast a summoning spell, you can set some of these rules yourself. If you understand the rules that a creature is bound to, you can easily defeat it. Most of you will have heard of vampires being repelled by crosses. That won't work for all vampires, but for some it is an easy weakness to use. In later years you will study many types of otherworld creatures to learn this sort of lore. Now, to continue. Success! Gym. Taking gym. Yay! Okay. Good morning, my young bright things. Today is a special occasion for all of you. You're gonna get some practice when you've learned to try out some spells on each other without the pressure of tests or grades. It is an important lesson because in future exams you may come up across other spellcasters. You need to know how to use magic in combat, how to avoid magic being used on you. Will everyone please team up in twos? There's just some jostling and shuffling around. Ellen and Virginia pair off and I end up standing by Virginia's brother, Donald. Please pay attention before we begin. Are Donald and Virginia twins? Is that what this means? I want you to take turns casting spells at each other and blocking them. This is not a battle, and you're not trying to defeat each other. Think of it like a game of catch. One of you is the pitcher, and one of you is the catcher. You can only pitch when it's your turn, so defenders must only defend and not attack. Also, please don't interfere with any other pairs. This includes casting spells that tend to be messy. No fireballs or ice storms, please, Elsa. Target only your partner. I'll be on hand to deal with any injuries and accidents. If you hurt yourself, please call for help. I'll be right here. Have fun! Fun. Turn to face my partner. Ladies first! I'm not sure what to cast. I've never done this before. You can do a push spell, right? No. You should be taking more classes. That doesn't help now. Yeah, well, there are a lot of little spells we don't learn in class. Some are pretty easy. Tell me what you can do and I'll suggest something. Donald shows me a simple spell to change the color of a small object, or part of a larger, so I can use it to turn his nose blue. Alright then, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. I start to cast the spell, but suddenly a wave of cold sweeps over my body and I can't move. The spell fizzles, uncast. Ha! I wasn't sure that would work. Ugh. It'll wear off in a minute. As he said, I unfreeze shortly, but my fingertips are still tingling and sore. Alright, it's my turn now. Are you ready? I suppose. Uno, dos, tres. There's a little jolt and I feel a sting like a tiny electric shock. Ow! Looks like you win. Sorry, what were you saying? That the distraction spell doesn't work fast enough to stop you from casting. We work together for a while, trading spells back and forth. Then Donald holds up his hands and leans in close to whisper something. I have got a great idea. When I say go, you drop to the floor and cover your eyes. I'm gonna cast something over your head. Okay. Sorry, I'm so pulling up, guys. Go! Uh-oh. On cue, I duck and cover. There's a whooshing noise and a burst of heat overhead, followed by screams. Donald, what are you doing? Ooh, you're in trouble. Well, your flaming dragon was very impressive. Aw, I missed the fire dragon. I did specifically tell you to avoid locked spells. Poor Utna might have not gotten out of the way. She would have been badly hurt. Like he cares. This is very disappointing. You've always been so careful in your creativity. Why would you take such a risk? Ooh. Oh. Professor Potsdam, I wasn't actually in danger. He told me to get down and make sure I was out of the way before he cast it. You knew what he was gonna do? Yes. I knew he was gonna do something, and saying this should get him out of trouble, right? Well, I suppose that changes things slightly. Detention for both of you. Fuck. What? It's only fair for both conspirators to suffer equally. And you did know that you shouldn't cast such large spells. But no demerit since there was no real danger. Perhaps the two of you can learn to come up with some more interesting way of showing it. Why did I pick such a slow voice for this character? Showcasing your skills for the class. Yes, ma'am. No problem. Try to be good now. Jacob, put Mr. Arias down. Sure, he's off to deal with someone else. Luckily, there are no major accidents for the rest of the session. I got fucking detention, though. How do you fail at studying? How do you fail? How do you fail at studying? I just got the book and I was like, fuck this book, and I threw it. Ellen is in her room, systematically taking clothes out of her dresser, then putting them back in. What are you doing? Folding my clothes. Yes, but why are you unfolding them first? Because they aren't folded properly. Okay. I guess everyone has their quirks. Oh, okay. Go to my detention. Mr. Mahomey, Mr. Danson. It seems like we're always here. Must I be forever burdened with this nonsense? Since you are both being punished for the same offense, you will receive the same punishment. He points to the tables where two very large glass jars filled with pebbles are sitting. Okay. You will each take one jar. You will take out each pebble individually by hand. You will place each pebble on the table, forming two separate stacks. After you have removed each pebble, you will write down the total number of pebbles that were in the jar. You will then return all of the pebbles to your jar by hand. I have ways of detecting whether or not each pebble has been touched. Do not attempt to shirk. Do you understand? Sure. If you can't dissolve or you attempt to pocket any of the pebbles, I will lock you in this room with no food or water until Monday. Get on with it. He stalks out of the room, closing the door behind him. What's the point of this? Boredom. Boredom, that's all. Great. Sorry I got you into this. You didn't. It was my decision. I mean, it would have been right to let them think you were trying to hurt me when you weren't. Yeah, well, I knew I was gonna get busted for it, and I didn't warn you. If you knew he'd get in trouble, why did he do it? Sit across from Donald and smile at him. Don't you get tired of being in here every Saturday? Hey, you noticed. Noticed what? That I'm here. Well, that's sort of obvious, isn't it? You'd think. Beg your pardon? He leans back in his chair and smiles. Do you have any brothers or sisters? No. Do you want them? Are you offering? I like that one. Are you offering? Yes, take them, please. He shrugs. I know you and Virginia don't get along, but what about William? Your brothers. You must have a lot to share. You know what you asked me earlier? William never asks. Which thing I asked you earlier? He doesn't answer. Silent moment stretches. In the distance, I hear footsteps echoing down the hall. Hey, Utna, do me a favor? Okay. Ask William what he thinks of me. And with that, he turns his head back to his work, just before the door opens. Grabby's back, so I'd better act like I'm paying attention to my assignment. I have counted, oh my god, 432 pebbles. Great. But I get to leave. I'm walking along, minding my own business, when suddenly I feel a gentle touch on the back of my head. I turn around, but there's no one nearby. Then I notice something white drifting to the floor. Paper? With a few long strides, William crosses the hall to reach my side. Whoops. Sorry about that. He picks up the paper airplane and winks at me. It was supposed to go over your head. No problem. Now that I've run into him, I have a chance to ask him something if I want. Ooh, look, I think I can open up a romance with Donald, but I don't give a fuck about Donald. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about something. Ellen really likes you. Right. Look, I like Ellen. She's sweet. But don't take this wrong. You guys are really young. For me to be involved with her in a romantic way wouldn't be right. I'd be taking advantage. Like Damien is. Oh! Shots fired! That's what my little sister says. Shots fired! We are not romantically involved. I know it's none of my business. Just be careful, okay? You're a good kid. You deserve to be happy. So does she. A lot's going to change for you and Yellen in the next few years, if you stay here. Stay? What do you mean? Well, you're both wild seed. Sometimes people with wild talents decide they don't want to be in the magical world after all. You and Ellen and Virginia are just getting started. I'm graduating at the end of the year. I'll be gone. Think about that, alright? He tweaks my nose, grins, and goes on his way. I feel like I'm getting, like, mixed feelings about everything. Alright. Helen. Utna? Yeah? Do you like theater? Plays? I don't know. Why? Well, the drama club is doing Medea. Oh, this week, and I kind of want to see it, but I don't want to go by myself. Do it. Go to that play. What's Medea? Oh, come on, Utna. Come on! It's a classic Greek tragedy. It's about a witch whose lover betrays her and the terrible things she does for revenge. That doesn't sound very nice. That's why it's a tragedy. They're doing it Friday and Saturday night, but I was thinking I'd rather go Friday. Is it free? No, it's $5 for students. So do you want to come? Hell yes, I want to hang out with you, Ellen. Sure, alright. Thanks. Better figure out what else I'm doing this week. Alright. I need to lower my stress a little. And then blue, blue, white, white. Oh, done. I'm asleep, guys. Yay. Yay. Uh-oh. Pink, then people could tell you apart. Oh, Utana. Hey, Luke, can you go on for a bit? I need to talk to Utana about something. Sure. Catch up with you later, man. He poses nonchalantly while his roommate walks away, but once Luke is out of sight, his face falls. So, did you talk to my brother? What did he say about me? Oh, I am totes gonna lie to him. I haven't really had the chance to talk to him. I don't see him that much. Right. Sorry I bothered you. See, that was totally like opening up for a romance scene. Sorry, I suck. Woo! Ooh, that's exciting. I need to study other. Look, blue and white are like really high. I'm getting ready for dinner when someone knocks on the door. Hey! Hi guys, what's up? Want to earn some easy merits? Doing what? Butching? 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 Butching. Like butch lesbians butching? Are you a butch lesbian, Luke? Butching. Butching and baking and candlestick making. Butching? That's not the right word. Thank you. It could, how's his voice? It could be. She's a horse. You ever been kicked by one? What did you want me to do again? He already said. Are you in or not? Yeah, why not? I'm in the negative, so fine, lead on. I'm in the negative, I need some stuff. The boys lead me to a classroom with a stove set up at the back, normally used for potions making. There are several pots and a collection of metal cylinders on the floor nearby. They don't have lids, and they're not the right size for any pipes I know of. What are they? Oh, I've made candles before. It's actually kind of boring, but really interesting. Way to go. There you are! Now, if you just hold still for a moment. A wave of green magic rolls over me. That should improve your resistance to heat and stop you from burning yourself too easily. Of course, you'll still need to be careful. Especially you, Mr. Pfeiffer. Yes, ma'am. You have an instruction sheet here with all the steps, including the proportions for the dyes and fragrance oils. Do you have any questions? We're cool. Alright, I'm out for a while, but I'll be back shortly to help keep an eye on things. Don't worry, I won't interfere. Guys, I'm just making up words, whatever I feel this thing wants to say, that's what I'm saying instead of what's written. I might even bring my knitting. She walks out, leaving me with two boys who obviously haven't told me everything. What are we doing here? Making candles. It's for the fundraiser thing. What fundraiser thing? The school sells stuff at the mall to raise money. Oh. So she's not still mad at you about last week then? Who? Potsdam? Nah. She was never really mad. She loves me. If she loves you so much, why doesn't she marry you? Of course you say that, Luke. What? She's an old lady, you goad. She's not that old, but too old for you, I'm sure. And we shouldn't talk like this in case she comes back. Right, candles. So how does it work? Set up the wick, melt the wax, pour it in, and then cool it down. Easy. You can cast a seal spell, right? Alright, you run the wax and Luke can do the wicks. Sure. Okay, the wax is set in a double broiler. Make sure there's always water in there and keep an eye on the temperature. If the wax gets too hot, it will explode. Explode? That's why Potsdam heat-proofed us. Just keep an eye on it. As long as you're watching, we'll have time to catch on it if it starts going wrong. When the wax chunks are melted down, mix in the oil and the color, then stir it with a wooden spoon. Have you done this before? No, I read the directions. It's not that hard. Once the pot is ready, you can pour it into the molds. And what are you going to do while we're working? I get the hard part. You'll see. Working together, Luke and I assemble and fill candle molds. Alright, stand back. Here I go. Whoa, I can feel the magic in the air, but I'm not sure what he's doing. What is that? Shh, hang on. He's still casting it? Okay. This is a tougher spell than usual. A minute later, he relaxes. There you go. You can cut off the ends now. I look inside the mold. Not only has the wax cooled, but it's shrunk in away from the sides of the mold completely evenly. You can't cool it all at once or it'll collapse. And if you leave it to cool on its own, it sinks full of holes. So it's tricky. Couldn't you just shape the wax around the wick in the first place without melting it? It wouldn't work right afterwards. It wouldn't blend right. And so we produce a nice set of candles. None of the steps are terribly difficult, but done over and over. It's tiring. Wonderful work, ducklings. 10 mirrors for each of you. Heck yeah. Job well done. Yay! 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 Oh, okay. So this is all about interrupting spells. That's nice. I need to study so that I can get my smarts up. Aww. Ooh. Ellen and I meet outside the gym. There are a lot of people here, not just students, but ordinary people and families who must have driven up here to see the play. After we buy our tickets, we can go inside. Folding chairs have been set up in rows across the gym floor, facing the stage. Behind the stage, a giant backdrop painting floats on the wall. Hangs on the wall, not floats. I don't know where I got floats. Displaying marble pillars and steps to suggest a fantasy of ancient Greece. At least it looks like a painting. It's probably an illusion. That's got to be a lot easier than having to paint something so huge. We find a place to sit without anyone too tall in front of us. After a while, the show begins. It was every bit as tragic as Ellen suggested, and bloody too. Nice special effects though. I have a really tall torso, so whenever I sit anywhere, I am like the tallest person in the room. It's really annoying. And I'm sure it's annoying for the people who have to sit behind me too. Hell hath no fury like a... Oh, no, she's not Potsdam. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Isn't that Shakespeare? No, it was someone else. Cosgrove, I think, from The Morning Bride. So what's that one about? Another story of murder and revenge? Sort of. It's complicated. Let me see if I can remember. The rebel leader kidnaps the princess, but then they fall in love and get secretly married. But then there's a shipwreck and she's washed up alone and rescued by her father, the king. So the king wants to marry her off to his ally. She doesn't dare tell him she's already married to his enemy. She thinks the rebel fellow is dead anyway. Only he's not, because he was washed up so... Really? Is this necessary? You guys, we're expanding our literary knowledge. He was washed up by somewhere else and rescued by a queen who falls in love with him, and then the king falls in love with the queen, but they're enemies. So everyone loves someone who loves someone else. It sounds like Shakespeare. And they all try to murder the people they think have betrayed them. And then they feel guilty and try to change their minds. Only it's too late because the plots are already in motion, so they all end up killed by their own assassins. So the moral is, I guess, that revenge is dangerous. Or else don't change your mind. Even if a man treated me like Jason, I would never do what Medea did. Well, of course you wouldn't do that. But if someone I loved betrayed me... She took it way too far, but Jason deserved to suffer for the way he treated her. You can't let people get away with that. He should have been punished. I suppose. You know what they say, don't get mad, get even. Just, not by killing people. Bad plan. I hear someone nearby snicker, but when I turn to look, I can't tell who it was. Half the audience is still milling around after all. Anyway, thanks for coming with me. No problem. I love you, Ellen. You're so cute.